Have you ever felt like modern politicians are just puppets? Well, you're not alone. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of Quockerwodgers. Yes, you heard that right, Quockerwodgers. Originally, a Quockerwodger was a wooden puppet manipulated by strings that danced to the whim of its puppeteer. But by the mid-19th century, this quirky term evolved as slang for politicians or public figures who were perceived as being controlled by someone else, essentially figureheads without real autonomy. Let's travel back to the Victorian era. The Industrial Revolution had sparked a rise in literacy, and the public began to engage more critically with politics through newspapers and satirical magazines like Punch. British Parliament during this time had a reputation for being heavily influenced by wealthy patrons, industrialists or aristocrats, those who pulled the metaphorical strings of the politicians they supported. This led to the widespread use of Quockerwodger as a biting commentary on political subservience. The Reform Act of 1832 was supposed to reduce corruption by redistributing parliamentary seats and extending voting rights to the middle class. Yet, even after this act, many politicians remained beholden to their financial backers. The term Quockerwodger captured the public's disillusionment with this lack of true political independence. Puppetry was a common medium for satire in the 19th century. The concept of a politician as a marionette of more powerful interests resonated deeply in the cultural consciousness. Political cartoons of the era often depicted Quockerwodgers, literal wooden puppets representing politicians, being controlled by shadowy figures in the background. Some satirical puppet shows in Victorian England explicitly used Quockerwodger-like characters to mock politicians. Picture this: a politician turned puppet that could only nod or shake its head in response to its master's whims. Audiences loved it, often shouting Quockerwodger as a taunt during political rallies. Even Benjamin Disraeli, a major figure in British politics, wasn't spared. Critics frequently accused him of being a Quockerwodger, claiming he served only the interests of Queen Victoria and the aristocracy rather than the people. While this was likely exaggerated, the label stuck with certain opponents who viewed him as a masterful manipulator of public opinion, yet beholden to elite agendas. Toy versions of Quockerwodgers were sold as novelties in Victorian England. These toys were both entertaining and a means to lampoon specific politicians. Imagine a Quockerwodger modelled after a particularly disliked MP, allowing people to symbolically control or ridicule the puppet. Fast forward to today, and the term Quockerwodger feels uncannily relevant. In an era where political figures are frequently accused of being controlled by lobbyists, corporations, or influential donors, the idea of a politician as a puppet resonates just as strongly as it did in the 19th century. Imagine modern political cartoons with a Quockerwodger manipulated by strings labeled Big Pharma or super PACs, or even beyond politics, describing CEOs influenced by shareholders or celebrities controlled by PR managers. It's a versatile term for any situation involving a perceived lack of autonomy. If you're intrigued by quirky historical terms like Quockerwodger and want more nerdy verbiage, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.